other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today was how to navigate your cycle during this time. So first things first, what I've said to a lot of my clients is from like beginning of March kind of thing, depending where you were in your cycle when this whole thing really picked up for you in terms of stress levels. From about beginning of March to the next 3 months, do not be too alarmed by what is happening in your cycle. The reason for this is that we have been, as women, under an immense amount of stress, and our body has kind of been, from a lot of us, me definitely included, our body has been in a state of like fight or flight survival. The world is not safe right now kind of thing, especially for me, right? And if you have to like travel home from somewhere or whatnot, this will definitely be especially for you as well. So with that being said, for some, I feel like it's going to be a big split. Some people are going to get their periods early, especially like this month, probably early, because their progesterone is going to be low from all the stress, because every time that your body secretes cortisol, which is your stress hormone, it takes out of your progesterone stores. So in order for your period to be in order for your cycle to be the correct amount of days, your progesterone is what keeps your period held in, also keeps the baby held in. It's what keeps your progesterone held in that luteal phase, and then you obviously bleed in your menstrual phase, right? So you've got, in terms of phases, phase 1 is obviously you're bleeding from day 1 of your bleed, that's day 1 of your cycle. You bleed, you go into follicular phase, ovulation, luteal phase, bleed. So in your luteal phase, your progesterone should be really high, and that's what holds your period in before your progesterone and estrogen drop, and then you bleed. And if you don't have enough progesterone from pretty much stress, then you're obviously gonna get your period earlier. So for some people, they're gonna get their period earlier. That will often happen for the majority of people if, a sip of my drink, if they have had the major stress after they have ovulated, right? Now, for some of us, what's going to happen is that our cycles are going to get longer, because especially around the major stress time. So for me, it would have been mid-March before I ovulated, that around that time, all the stress was coming. So my body would have communicated, now is not the time to have a baby. Let's delay ovulation to when we are safe again. So what that might mean for me, and my period will come on the full moon, or it will come afterwards. So maybe by the time this is out, it'll be kind of soon. So what was I saying? So if your ovulation is delayed, then your whole period's going to be pushed off a little bit as well, because your cycle will be delayed, especially if you've been able to pick up progesterone in terms of lowering your cortisol after the major stress has happened. I really did. So that will also probably help with me not getting bad PMS per se, but having a much longer cycle. So I basically just want us to not be too alarmed right now if your cycle's really long or if your cycle's really short. Rule of thumb, if something happens once, don't worry about it. If something happens again, start to be like, there's a pattern here. If it happens 3 times, definitely be like, right, what's going on? And if it happens a 4th time, you definitely need to fix the problem. So the reason why I say this is because it can take quite a while with our cycles to settle out once like something big has shifted us. So for example, if over the next 2 months you have really raging sore boobs and you're like, why? Do not be too concerned about it because of the amount of stress going on in our external environment. If, however, you start to have sore boobs for the next 5 months, you need to start being more concerned about it, and obviously flushing out estrogen, looking at iodine levels, that kind of stuff. Maybe booking an appointment with me, or doing my Turning Off Your Period Problems program, because that also has everything that you need to know in there as well. And that's really, really comprehensive. So there's kind of 2 options in terms of what might be happening during your cycle. So please don't be too concerned. There's nothing wrong with you. In fact, this is actually your body playing out one of its protective mechanisms. So honor that and see it as like a bit of a blessing that your body's working so well, and that it's really, really, it's listening to what's happening in your life, because that's pretty important. Now, just some key things in terms of what we can be doing to support our hormones right now, especially in terms of stress and lack of vitamin D, because we're not going out so much. So it is really important that if you, depending where you're living in the world, if you can go outside, I know in London we're allowed to go for a 1-hour walk every day, or a run. If you're allowed to do that, then please make sure that you do, especially on those sunny days, especially sunny days. And if you can, go outside wearing like a t-shirt so that your skin can absorb lots of vitamin D. Don't rug yourself up if, depending where you are in the world, just try and have some skin exposure. You don't need to lie in the sun, but you need to have skin exposure for about 15 minutes to get a good amount of vitamin D. Vitamin D from the sun is different to vitamin D in a capsule, but vitamin D in a capsule would still be supportive for you, just as like an in-between kind of thing for right now. So vitamin D is really important, and also just your circadian rhythm. So your melatonin production is definitely going to affect your cycle. So please make sure that you are sleeping in pitch black dark, and that when you wake up and you open your windows, you let the light into your apartment or into your home, or you put your fucking head out the window if you're living in New York City where there's not much light. Put your head out the window and get some light on your face. You need to wake yourself up, or get a what are they called? You can get like sun lamps. Get a sun lamp if you need a sun lamp to wake you up in the morning to help your body produce the correct amount of melatonin.